tired of talking about the draft. Okay, all these quarterbacks.
Me too.
I'm tired of talking about the draft.
Me too.
I'm talking now. There's so many remaining. There's a bunch of remaining free agents left on the market.
Uh-huh.
So now I looked at all the remaining free agents, and I want to say which one we should sign, which one we shouldn't sign. Then I should sign which one we shouldn't sign.
Okay.
I have from QBs all the way to like safeties. So
All right.
QB, the only one I think of is Nick Mullins. Should we sign Nick Mullins or not?
I would love to. I mean, it's not like he's expensive. He knows the offense. Bring him back. I'm a big Nick Mullins fan, but you know how I am.
The thing is, I think we already have enough quarterbacks, so I really don't think we need Nick Mullins.
That's fair.
We have too many quarterbacks.
That's fair.
Now let's move on to running backs. I have Le'Veon Bell. Should we sign Le'Veon Bell or not?
Hell no.
I think
why? Tell me why.
The Kyle Shanahan already wanted Le'Veon Bell before he went to the Jets. Number one.
That's true.
And number two is like we don't know how Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. is gonna stay healthy the entire season. And he wanted Le'Veon Bell, so why wouldn't you sign Le'Veon Bell if he's a free agent? Nobody's signing him, so you could legit sign him to like a $2.5 million contract for 1 year, and we have Le'Veon Bell if Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson get injured.
You make a good case. I mean, I hadn't thought of it that way. You make a very good case. I was more inclined to draft a running back, but I see what you're saying.
Is a waste of a pick.
That's a good point. You make another good point. Okay, Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, put him in a committee with Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. Be a hell of a committee.
And the next running back I have on the list is Gurley.
No.
I don't think
no.
we should sign Gurley.
I think he's done, man. He used to be great. But no, that knee's all messed up. No, not Gurley.
And then Adrian Peterson.
No. I like Bell more. Of the three that you mentioned, I like Bell because he's the best receiver. And the Niners really are looking for a receiver. I mean, Wilson's a good receiver. Mostert's a good receiver, but not on the Le'Veon Bell level. Bell, of those three, him. Only other guy you could argue is like Frank Gore. But Frank Gore is 77 years old. I mean, my dad's younger than Frank Gore. So I would say probably Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. And then let's move on to wide receivers. Antonio Brown.
No. The only quarterback in the league that I think Antonio Brown respects and would be professional with is Tom Brady. He wouldn't even be professional around Ben Roethlisberger, who's a future first ballot Hall of Famer. So it's not like Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be like, hey, Antonio, knock it off. It's not going to happen.
I don't think we should sign Antonio Brown either because I don't know his chemistry with the players in the locker room. He has too much drama off the field also. So I don't think Antonio Brown is a right choice for the Niners. We shouldn't sign him. Moving on to Alshon Jeffrey.
He's a good player. Depending on the price. He's a lot like Kendrick Bourne. Not really. He's more of an outside guy. Can he play in the slot? I don't know. Depends on the price. Intriguing.
I think we should sign Alshon Jeffrey because nobody's really signing him or anything. He's still a free agent, so I think we could sign him for vet minimum.
Yeah, and he's proven. He's produced. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else?
Offensive lineman.
Who?
We have Alejandro Villanueva.
He's probably going to be expensive, although he's still out there. I think that's going to be a guy who signs after the draft because there's going to be teams that want some starters that miss out on rookies that sign him. There's also Eric Fisher, who tore his Achilles and could be back. I think Eric Fisher would be an interesting signing because he'll be cheap. You can get him for nothing. He's the first pick in the draft.
I don't think we should sign Alejandro Villanueva, but I think we should sign Eric Fisher or Mitchell Schwartz, also a Kansas City guy, because both of those guys are still there. You could get them for cheap. Because honestly, I think whenever they see a contract, I think they would take it because nobody's really offering them anything.
Well, we'll see if Mike McGlinchey's even on the team after the draft. They could trade him on draft night. Who knows? That's what they did with Trent Brown a couple of years ago.
And the last offensive lineman I have is Jason Peters.
Old. Nah, no thanks. I'll pass. Yeah.
Now,
what?
Go
ahead.
2D linemen that I have on my list is Geno Atkins and Joel Casey.
A little old. I think the Niners do really well with these young, unheralded defensive linemen. That's what Chris Kosarek does well with. I don't think they need any more depth. I like their D linemen. They got Kinlaw, Street, Givens. I like their D linemen.
I have next is edge.
Okay.
Edge rushers are. I'm just gonna go quick rapid fire because I know you guys take other calls.
Sure.
Edge, I have Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram, Ryan Kerrigan, and Everson Griffin. Which one should we sign as one of them, or should we not sign?
Well, they already signed Samson Ebukam. There probably isn't a role for any of those guys. I'd be most interested in Everson Griffin, but let's see what Samson Ebukam can do. He's 26. He's got upside.
Now, linebackers, Quan Alexander, KJ Wright, Lee.
KJ Wright's cool. Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
I like KJ Wright.
I same.
Yeah.
I think we should sign KJ Wright.
Yep.
Cornerbacks, Richard Sherman's not deciding until the draft. We have Rashad Breeland and Casey Hayward.
Rashad Breeland was good against the Niners in the Super Bowl. I like him. I like him.
Same. And then the last one I have is safeties. The only one I could really find is Malik Hooker. But I honestly think we should, though.
I mean, he was the same draft as Solomon Thomas. He's had a lot of injuries. You could give him a chance. He could be cheap.
I would draft Malik Hooker only because Jaskowski Tart, I don't know. He usually only plays like maybe like 5 to 8 games unless he's in the season. So if you sign Malik Hooker, you have another guy to back up who had to back up Jaskowski Tart, who's actually a really good player when he's on the field. So.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'm glad we went through every position. That was extensive and exhaustive. Let me ask you real quick. Did your parents see that I made the little comment about your hair and then immediately take you out for a haircut?
No, because actually I showed my parents, but right after you told me that my brother was gonna get a haircut. So then he's like, you get a haircut also? I'm like, okay.
All right. Well, there you go. A haircut. It's a good one, man. You look great. Love the tie. You're ready to turn pro, man. You're gonna be the first pick out of high school. Good to see you, man. I'll see you next time.